Hey, what's up everybody? David Calderon from Nutri-Sport. I'm standing here with Ben Martin, friend and Nutri-Sport employee extraordinaire. Talking a little bit about Ben's journey. He's getting ready to do his first show here in June. When's the date, brother?
Official date is June 9th.
Okay, June 9th is his target date. So I want to kind of talk a little bit about Ben's journey. I know he's worked hard, I mean really hard over the years, and I want him to tell you a little bit about his story. So go ahead and give him some input, brother. Tell him about yourself.
Initially began bodybuilding just like any other self-conscious little kid. Got picked on, literally got my money taken from me when I was a middle schooler, dunked in the toilet, all that garbage. Decided I wanted muscle so it wouldn't happen no more. Boom.
I'll say.
I began as a sophomore in high school, about 14 years old, 5'4", 98 pounds. Took an interest in it immediately. Did a lot of reading. Had a great coach, Coach Gonzalez, the late Coach Gonzalez over at Marietta Valley High School. Took an interest in me, saw my passion for it, mentored me, grew me for the sport, knew that I had a little bit of a future in it. And by the time I was a junior, I had already reached 125 pounds, still 5'4". I wasn't going anywhere. But real lean, about 4% body fat year round, so that was a significant gain. Around there I got stuck, hung out around there till probably around 2007, which is when I met Dave Calderon. I actually stumbled in here by accident. I was in the market for some supplements, was going to Ralph's, which is right next door, and I said, hey, you know what, I think I need to get back into it and start pushing a little harder. Came in, met David, said, I need some knowledge. I don't know much, if anything, anymore. The science is always changing. Pointed me in the right direction.
Got you on the basics, right? To start.
Essentially, started me off on Quick Mass, a real good pre-workout, and that's where it began. Next year after that, I made significant gains. I probably put on 20 pounds that first year after I met you.
Absolutely. And Quick Mass, I mean, essentially what's Quick Mass? It's a high-calorie meal supplement, active ingredient, if you will, good old protein. Remember, guys, if we want to build muscle, we need protein, and we need a good amount of protein, and there's no way we can eat it all through food, so we're going to need a supplement in order to get up to our protein intake requirements, and Benny obviously has addressed that issue. That's the most important thing to address. So,
being a bodybuilder, I typically take in about 5 to 6 meals a day, all of them having a significant portion of chicken or any other source of protein, fish like tilapia, orange roughy, or beef. But I still always have about 3 shakes a day. My shakes usually consist of 2 scoops Quick Mass, which has about 30 grams of protein in itself, but to spike up the protein value significantly, which is a little bit higher quality stuff, Isoflex, which is a whey isolate, much higher concentration of leucine, which is key to anabolism as well. So it kind of supercharges my Quick Mass for me.
The absorbability is a little bit better with the whey isolate compared to other proteins too, so I think that's probably why you're using that, to spike your Quick Mass with a really good quality protein fraction that the body's going to utilize more efficiently, get to that muscle tissue for recovery, for growth, etc.
They work really well synergistically together because the high carb content in the Quick Mass spikes the insulin, turns into glycogen so that my protein can be used for replenishing my muscles and helping them recover rather than being turned into glucose and stored.
Exactly. So, first contest is June 9th, right? How's your training going right now? What's your split looking like right now?
Typically, Monday is always leg day. Don't miss it because there's nobody on squat rack on Monday except me. You'll find me on squat rack every Monday.
It's bench press day on Monday, right? For most people.
Chest and tries, baby. Chest and tries. Every time. Not me. Typically, what I do on a leg day, start off with some squats, move on to some stiff-legged deadlifts, and then probably some one-legged leg press. After that, it's a superset with leg extensions and leg curls.
What do you do?
Until I can't walk. And then Tuesdays, usually we do either arms or shoulders. And then Wednesdays, back. Thursdays, chest. take Friday off, and then Saturday just something to touch up on, whatever I think I may need work on.
Sure.
Usually hit calves twice a week, so calves will fall into a Saturday as well, typically.
So you're working out typically how many times per week as far as weight training goes?
4 to 5, never more than that though.
Okay.
I want to maximize recovery.
Exactly. Remember, guys, we break down muscle in the gym. Muscle's made of protein. You're tearing down protein from muscle. You need to put that back into the muscle right after the workout. Take that quick mass, take that protein right after the workout, and get that rest in between workouts so that we can repair and grow. Any supplements that you've used over the years or that you're currently using that you would kind of recommend or kind of feature as beneficial towards your progress?
Current standbys, as mentioned before, quick mass, isoflex stack, love that. I literally don't ever train without AminoCore, which is a branched chain amino acid product. It's fantastic, so I'm not burning up my muscle tissue for energy while I'm lifting. It's also got some B vitamins in there, so it's got nice linear energy. It's fantastic. It tastes good too.
Yeah, AminoCore is something that we'll talk about a little bit more too in a future video, guys. But yeah, like Ben said, AminoCore, branched chain amino acid based product. It's essentially a secondary fuel source while he's training. So when his body runs out of that first energy reserve and that sugar, it's not going after any of his hard-earned muscle as a secondary fuel source. It's going after what he's ingesting instead, not only improving endurance, but kind of, again, acting as an insurance policy against the body burning that hard-earned lean tissue. So quick mass you're using as a high-calorie gainer, putting a little bit of isoflex, which is a whey isolate, in order to kind of improve the protein amount and improve the protein fraction that you're incorporating and ingesting, and then some branch chains from AminoCore before and during your workout to sustain the workout and to prevent that muscle tissue breakdown. Future goals besides this big show that we got coming up June 9th, brother?
Well, I haven't really said anything far out. I was really going to play it by ear because I wanted to assess how well I do in the competition itself. It's going to be my first competition.
And it's bodybuilding, right?
Absolutely. Bodybuilding, essentially. I build up every part of my muscle that I can on my body so it's nice and symmetrical, and then I lean it out so I can display it as well as possible on stage against other bodybuilders. And I was going to assess how well I do in that show and maybe just roll right into another one if I place well. If not, take another year off, try to make some improvements in symmetry, size, and go from there.
What would you, I mean, what are a couple pieces of advice that you could maybe give to, you know, the young lifter, an inexperienced lifter, maybe some guy that's in high school that's just trying to build that muscle tissue, doesn't seem to be able to easily build that muscle tissue? What are a couple things you might tell them to focus on? Being
young, 23 myself, and coming from a skinny guy background, it was really, really difficult to build the foundation initially. Protein's got to be number one every time, because that's the wood to the house that Dave is always referring to. You can't build a house without your wood.
You need raw material to
yes.
build whatever you want to build. Yeah.
That's key. And training hard and never overtraining. You need to emphasize your recovery as well. Initially, don't be afraid to start with only 3 days a week. There's no need to go all out immediately. And have a nice, good round split. Chest one day, back one day, legs one day. You don't need to overcomplicate it.
So, yeah, that's very good advice. You know, get your focus on your nutrition, specifically protein. Make sure you're recovering so the muscle can repair and grow. I think, you know, Ben has just shown a tremendous amount of focus and hard work and due diligence, and there's no real substitute, guys, for all of those, you know, qualities, characteristics that Ben exhibits. So yeah, we just wanted to kind of talk about, you know, Ben's goals, what's upcoming for him. You know, we're excited. You know, it's been a long journey. We're proud of him. Stay tuned, too, because we're going to have weekly updates on his progress. And, yeah, any input, any questions, any comments, just go ahead and leave those below. Otherwise, we'll see everybody soon. Thanks, guys.
Catch you next week.